Hey guys, Sehel here from Under the Needle UK. So, you want to become a tattoo artist? Here's a little breakdown. First things first, what's the difference between an apprenticeship and a course? Now, apprenticeships, you join a team, you go into a shop. It's usually unpaid. If the shop owner is really nice, they'll cut you in maybe 20-30%. But you basically working for free for about a year, maybe two. They teach you everything. They provide most of the things except for your machine and your ink usually, and your needles. Everything else is by those guys. You'll have to do shitty jobs like cleaning, especially the toilets. So get those gloves on. It's not an easy industry to get into. It's not a friendly industry because you're going to be everyone's competition. Apprenticeships are really hard to come by, hence why we got courses. Now be very careful with a course. Courses that are about 2 weeks are a no-go. Your tattoo course should be at least 2 months, up to a year. Price-wise, you're looking, I'm going to give it to you in pounds if you're overseas. There's a thing called Google. You can kind of change the currency to yours. Don't be lazy. So you're looking for a 2-month course, about 3-4 grand minimum. Year course could go up to about 10. What they go through is everything. So you start with health and safety, you start with the hygiene, you do a course online that kind of gives you the thumbs up and the paperwork that says that you understand hygiene, then you're ready to kind of work in a tattoo shop. The basics of the work are then presented to you in the shop by the artist who's teaching you. Try and not jump from artist to artist when you're learning. So usually you're assigned one artist, go with that artist. Depending on the genre you want to do, if you're set on it and you're 100% that that's the genre you want to end on, then go for that apprenticeship if you have options. If you're trying to get your foot through the door, jump on anything really. Just get into the environment, just learn as much as you can. You can always watch different artists work if they don't mind. Don't hover on top of them. Don't fucking let their elbow touch your stomach while you're fucking behind them. You're gonna get told off. Just watch, but like not too closely. Don't breathe on their fucking neck. No one likes that. Make sure the team that you're with is a team that you're gonna like and enjoy. There's a lot of egos in the industry, so don't kiss ass basically, but at the same time don't be rude because these guys are teaching you. So make sure you're giving them the respect they deserve, and also you don't have to execute exactly how they teach. Pick up the information that they give you. You're your own person and your own artist. A quick jump over to what a course offers you instead of this. The course will be a few months if it's a good course. If it's a shitty course, about 2 weeks. The 2-week courses are usually, a week of it is a £20 hygiene course that you can do online, but they charge you 2 grand for. So try and stay away from that scam. I'm going to piss a lot of people off who offer this, but it's time for you guys to step up and offer people something better. The next week they just teach you roughly how to do a rough tattoo and kind of give you some information about needles and depth and whatnot, which you can't learn in a week. That's something that you need to keep banging out. The skin isn't that easy. There's each part of the body has a different type of skin that you need to learn, and that comes with experience. That's why I always push people towards apprenticeships or longer courses. If you're financially not stable and thinking of doing it on your own and become self-taught, I suggest not. But if you really want to do it, just buy some on different websites. There's like Udemy. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but like you can just buy a course. Shouldn't be more than £100. That will give you kind of like a breakdown of everything. You understand the rough subjects. Don't tattoo on skin, at least for a month or two. Especially if you're like banging out every day, give yourself a month or two before you move to skin. Don't go, oh, I'm gonna do like 15 minutes a week and then in a month or two I'm ready for skin. No, you gotta fucking bang out the work. You gotta grind for it. Understand your needles. So make sure your line work, start from lining, take it to shading. Make sure you understand all the needles before you put them to skin. Make sure you understand your machine. Your machine doesn't need to be a grand. I'm working with machines that are much cheaper right now, and I sold off the expensive ones because I like the cheaper ones more that I use. So I think roughly around 200 is where you're looking for a machine. 200 to 500 pounds is something you can get decent from Dragon Hawk or something. Doesn't need to be a Cheyenne when you're starting off. Even when you get to it, you might not want to do a Cheyenne. You might be be alright with the cheaper versions, which I am. The industry has a lot of loopholes. You need to learn that from your teachers in terms of needles and stuff, not in terms of avoiding text. Don't avoid text. There's a prison sentence for that, and don't nobody want to go to prison. Pay your fucking taxes. In terms of payment, sex is not a payment. Don't accept booty for payment. That's not how we do this. You need money to fucking eat. Don't take drugs. Don't take it for payment neither. It's gonna be tempting, but keep your nose clean. Get focused. Stay away from drinking and stuff. It affects your work heavily. You might not feel it. You might feel like you've achieved after a full day or a good day's work, but long term, those little drinks and those little habits will mess up your work. So keep your head down and just keep banging it out till you're in a place where you're stable and you got a name for yourself. In terms of the apprenticeship, they will teach you the day-to-day. They'll teach you how to communicate with customers, how to book them in, how to build yourself if they're successful themselves. That's why it's important that you make sure you go to a good shop for your apprenticeship, or after you do your apprenticeship, move to a good shop that can teach you these. You're basically self-employed, you work for yourself, so you need to know how to promote yourself and how to bring in clients. Make sure you got decent bedside manners. If your mum hasn't taught you how to fucking speak to people and how to be pleasant, then you're gonna have a long fucking time learning in this industry, and you're gonna lose a lot of clients that won't come back to you because you don't know how to fucking smile.
And how much leeway for new artists is there when it comes to learning different styles? Is it better in the long term for them to learn different styles, or is it just better to stay with the one style?
I suggest learning one style properly and then moving on to next. I'm the type of person who wants to learn all the styles, who wants to like be good all round. That's been always my mission. I always wanted to open a shop, and I always wanted to like have my own brand. It might not be for you. It might be too much work and too much responsibility, so you don't want that. Or maybe you just want to focus on the one genre, which, dude, that's perfect because you got less hassle that way. But you can always bounce around on genres. Just make sure you get enough information and you master it enough before you move on, because you don't want to take on those habits to different genres. There's certain genres that you work a lot with line work. There's certain genres you don't use line work at all. So those needles go out the window when you switch genres. And you got to learn the new needles. You need to learn the curved mags and the flats and whatnot. So it's important that if you're jumping to different genres, you do your research and you learn about it. There's basics and there's codes that need to be followed depending on the genre you do. There's all-round codes, like which way a tattoo is supposed to face and whatnot. That's just the basic. That any genre you do, they need to teach you that anyways. And if you're with a good artist that's teaching you, they'll explain all of that to you before you actually get to work. There should be someone monitoring you while you work within the first year. Like, they won't stand on top of you, but they'll watch you from far and make sure your errors aren't too fatal for the piece.
And how should up-and-coming tattoo artists, how should they deal with persistent clients who want them to, let's say, do a style that's not in their specialism?
I'm pretty sure, like, if you explain it to the client, they would understand. If you come to me and I tell you, bro, honestly, this is not my specialty, and I think Mr. X would do a better job for you in our studio. Yeah, just pass it on to the person you think is right for that piece. You don't have to do the piece if you're not comfortable with it. At the end of the day, is your name going on that piece, and if the delivery is not going to be good enough, then that's going to affect your name in the future, and then you got to touch it up. You might end up with complaints and lawsuits and stuff if you fuck it up too heavy. So make sure you understand it, and that's the reason why I'm telling you guys to make sure you practice enough before you go on skin, because you might damage the skin, and that won't be good long term, because there's no reversing the damaged skin really. So don't be afraid to ask us questions. Me or one of the guys from the team will get back to you as soon as we can with the answers. It doesn't matter how stupid you think the question is, it's still a question, so just get it out to us and we'll get it answered.